All right, guys, what it do? I am coming to you today because there's been a lot of talking going on about Charlie Kirk. And when Charlie Kirk got shot, I really wanted to do a video and honor him or tell you guys what I learned and all of this type of stuff from him. And I am a type of person where I'm a lone wolf type of dude, but I was watching um I was watching Charlie Kirk for like two complete years, 2 full years, and I have some videos showing my previous watch history. And this doesn't show anything, but I just want you guys to get an understanding of how long I've been watching this dude. So I've been watching him since 2023. Um, I'm not sure if it's showing everything, but it's showing you how long I've been watching him. And I have multiple other accounts. When I say other accounts, man, I have about 4 to 5 other accounts. So it's been varying. And when Charlie Kirk ended up getting shot that day, um, a lot of the stuff didn't sit right with me. Honestly, specifically, the fact that when I was watching Charlie Kirk, he wasn't really getting a whole bunch of views. I mean, like now he's getting like 1.5.6, or I can't see that, it's pixelated on my side, but what is that, 48 million or something like that, until recently. And when I was watching him before, there were nobody focused on him. Now, I don't want to say there wasn't nobody paying attention to him, because for whatever odd reason, he tended to pop up on my YouTube. And ever since then, I thought he was just speaking common sense. I thought he was speaking common sense about black people. I thought he was speaking common sense about white people. I thought he was speaking common sense about all types of people. So it was never, and me as a black person, I never took any of that stuff offensively. And maybe it's because I've did stuff and I've learned my lesson from what I've did. I've been to jail before, but I was young, dumb, and stupid. And that kind of seems where our culture is going. And instead of learning and teaching your next generation not to do that, it seems like we don't happen to do that. I want to tell you, I did happen to learn my lesson due to the fact that I do remember my dad telling me, do not call him when I go to jail. And I honestly was BSing. I was BSing. I was shoplifting from Walmart. I was working at Walmart. I was, what is it called? Boosting. I was boosting from Walmart, and I ended up getting caught. I was a teenager, kind of like fresh out of high school. They used my child youth defenders and all of that type of stuff, but it was a monumental learning moment for me. And when I say that, I mean, like, I got on the straight and narrow. I moved out the city. I'm in a bigger and better place right now. I have everything I want to, and I am working on me. You know what I mean? Charlie Kirk just brought me to the forefront of politics. Now, I already knew it was a few things that I didn't like, that I knew that was going on in the world. One example was putting same-sex books in school, almost alluding to you can have a man partner, almost alluding to it's okay. Expressing it, speaking out about it in a book at a young age is detrimental to a child's health. I'm just going to keep it real. And a lot of these people don't understand or realize. A lot of these people don't understand, realize, or even try to figure it out. And that's why you got people with dogs who will have a dog and the dog is just running around, or the dog don't know anything. The dog don't know sit. The dog don't know move out the way. The dog don't know anything, because his prime time age to be taught something was not taken advantage of. And I can tell you with my dog Kiba for a fact, at a young age, he can speak, he can sit, he can roll over, he can spin around. He know upstairs and downstairs. He know paw, he know high five. He know, what else? Lay down, up, like, but you take advantage of those young years and you show your kid what you should and shouldn't be doing. And what you show them and tell them what's right and wrong, they're going to take that as life values at that age. I promise you, because my dad told me a lot of stuff, especially that he wasn't coming to get me out of jail. And now when I think back on it, it's like, this man was dead serious. I shouldn't be doing anything stupid. And also nobody really, we had a record, but it really wasn't like, you need to focus on your record. Like you need to, it's none of that. It's none of that. It's just let the child grow up, let him be cool. And again, I give a plus for my father telling me that if I go to jail, he's not coming to bond me out. Don't call him. And that's a lot more of what we need, because a lot of these kids is just doing shit and getting out, and somebody in the family is helping them. And that's the fucked up part about the whole situation, is we just letting that shit go. But Charlie Kirk taught me a lot, and I was super, 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 super upset about the whole situation. Especially, like I said, I was watching him since like 2023, 24, 25. That's about 3 years of just watching this man consistently. It hurt me when he got shot, honestly. So now looking back at that, I did want to say something, but man, I just didn't have the guts to come up on YouTube and say something. Everybody was hating on the man. And at this point, I feel like in my soul, there's something wrong. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the Republicans. I don't know. I'm not blaming. I'm not telling who did it. I'm not saying anything. But when you come from Charlie Kirk, how I was watching Charlie Kirk every day, and he wasn't getting multi-million views on his video at the time. Nobody, if I walked outside and talked about Charlie Kirk before he got shot, nobody would probably know who he is. I swear to God. None of my friends, none of my black friends, or none of anybody that I know. But then the minute after he got shot, they were on social media. My screen just turned out. Hold up. All right, nice. They went hard on him on social media. Threads went crazy. Twitter went crazy. I have people that I know went crazy talking about fuck Charlie Kirk and all of that type of stuff. And it's like, when you've been watching somebody for 3 whole years and you hear everybody saying that this man is racist, but he's never said a racist thing about his mouth. He only says statistics and stats that were confirmed. That was it. He only spoke facts. So I do want to, listen to the video. Honestly, I don't have no opinion on it because I'm not friends with these guys. And I wish I was, honestly, but I don't know. And the only thing I think, like I said, it's weird that seconds after he got shot, maybe hours, because I was at work, the whole entire world, maybe it was bots, maybe it wasn't, but when I seen on my threads, when I went on the internet, his video was reposted multiple times, and they were talking crazy about the dude, as if they was talking about him before, as if they've been outing this guy. But that wasn't the case. Nobody was outing him until he got shot. And then they said he was a racist and all of this type of stuff. Nobody was thinking about it. And I want you guys to get this so clear throughout your head, because it's an anomaly how stuff works like that. Especially, like I said, if I went outside and said, you know who Charlie Kirk is? I would believe 3 out of 10 people would have said yes. I'm going to just be honest with you. So when I see, and I go on the gram, or I go on threads, or I go on Twitter, and all of these guys, it almost seems like a setup, is what I'm saying. It's an anomaly. If ain't nobody even talk about Biden that bad, and Biden fucked us all up, in my opinion. Or not even Biden, Democrats, but I don't know. So let's just take a watch of the video and see what it's talking about. I've watched a piece of it, but I want you guys to get your own opinion and all of this type of stuff. So check out a video again. This video, Tucker Carlson finally breaks silence on Charlie Kirk's assassination, demanding FBI answers now. Candace Owens has been talking a lot about it. I am kind of a fan of Candace Owens. I'm actually a fan of majority of the people that I see, honestly, Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, I was super duper cool with him. Nick Fuentes, I love Nick Fuentes. But again, there's a space missing, and Charlie Kirk was the change, and he is gone. And I don't believe this stuff will recover the way it was when Charlie was doing this live on campuses and stuff. So again, I feel honestly horrible about the situation. So we're going to, again, take a look, and again, my best regards to his family. And I hope that they rest easy and just believe, let's press play.
And maximal confessions and evidence brought to light. In the absence of that, you are going to have people that spiral, and that's what you're seeing right now. Who's in charge of the damn investigation? Well, it's not Erica Kirk, and it's not Candace Owens, and it sure as hell ain't me. And the way that you actually get people to go freaking crazy on stuff like this is to hold things back from them, to lie to them, or to deceive them. And what I mean by that is the judge is right now, in this case, planning on, it seems like, banning all cameras and all media from the courthouse. So we won't be able to watch the trial. We'll just be able to.
And if that kind of happens, I'm going to be highly upset, because they got YNW Melly. What is he? Is he live? I don't believe he's live, actually. I don't believe that was live. I don't know, but I think we really demand answers. I think we need to demand answers, because I don't think, again, I'm not talking about going and tearing down the White House or something like that, but I'm just saying we need a better understanding of what's going on. I think Trump has a way of looking over what he's actually doing. He's doing something, and I watched a channel called Promethean Action, and he's actually fighting against Britain, but he doesn't make that clear. I'm not sure if he thinks that the United States is going to think he's lying, but there's a lot of propaganda. There's a lot of shit going on outside of the United States that's coming into the United States. And I do believe it's due to the fact of all of the immigrants just being here. So again, let's take a look. Let's keep it playing.
See these little sketches and hear little blurbs about it later, but that's totally and wholly inadequate. People are going to lose their minds if that's the case. Tucker Carlson's saying as much, and he's right about it. So here we go. Let's start with Tucker Carlson describing the real problems with this investigation, saying that there has to be more.
But so I would say of the assassination, first of all, I knew him well. He was right at my house right before he was killed, so I feel emotional about it still.
Who was Charlie Kirk?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I love his wife and know his wife well, and so I feel emotional about it. So I just haven't wanted everything to do with it. But I will say a couple of things. I don't understand the official story at all.
Of his assassination.
I don't understand it, and I want to make sure that there is a truly rigorous and honest federal investigation of it, and I'm definitely concerned about that. A. B. I think that I don't know many of the details, but I know that recently Candace said that Egyptian registered aircraft were following Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, around for a number of years in different places in the world. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard, and I just want to say that is factually true. That's true.
Crazy.
So that's like the one data point that I happen to know is true. What does that mean? I have literally no idea. I can't even guess, but that's very, very strange.
And what is Egyptian? It could mean aircraft from Egypt. Who knows?
I think that they were registered in Egypt.
Got it.
And but that fact is true. So enough. And it also her claim that, there were kind of a disproportionately large number of foreign registered cell phones at the event. That's also true. So what does that add up to? I don't know, but it means that, the FBI has a moral and legal obligation to look in every direction and to be open-minded as you would in any investigation, in journalism, in science. It's all the same process. I don't know the answer. and I'm going to sift through everything as open-mindedly as I can, as honestly as I can, to get to what the truth is. That's, again, that's science, that's law enforcement, that's journalism. It's all the same. That's justice. And I just want to make sure that is happening. And I just don't have a ton of confidence in the FBI or the men who run it. And I'm not saying that out of ignorance at all.
That's a scary part too.
I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying
No.
I think it's really important that we have that.
Yeah, and also
I have I mean,
I never wanted to
dumb
think
Twitter
any of this.
shit. Like leaders of the FBI are on Twitter. Like what?
Oh, the one. Do you see the video that Tim Dillon did about the
No.
All right, you guys
It makes me too mad.
But no, I agree. It's like, and also here's the weird thing. I never wanted to think about any of this shit.
No,
I
I
never
agree.
wanted to think that our FBI didn't care about us, or that our CIA was compromised, or that we couldn't like you can't even call the police department without thinking that it goes directly to some other foreign lobby, right? Like
Theo Von is so earnest in these conversations. Tucker Carlson, clearly they're going directly after Dan Bongino and Kash Patel for being on Twitter, saying that he doesn't have any confidence in them and their ability to investigate here or run the FBI. I have a feeling this is going to elicit a reaction out of Kash and Dan, and more importantly, going to sort of cast a pall on the investigation of Charlie Kirk's murder, which, again, every single independent voice can tell you it would be great to have more clarity. It would be great to have more clarity on President Trump's assassination attempt. I mean, really, you're talking about events that changed the country forever and would be good to have a step-by-step breakdown of what's going on. It's perfectly fine to ask questions about these things. It's perfectly natural and healthy, actually, to do that. And more importantly, we've learned that the CIA was lying to us for 70 years about the JFK assassination. So, I mean, you're the people who lied, right?
And you know what's weird? I'm not the type of person who believes the Illuminati or the sacrificing thing or the ritual things. Don't take this as factual. This is just my idea because I'm unaware, because I haven't seen it with my eyes. I'm just not going to take what somebody say and run with it. From my belief of what the Illuminati is, and I'm not attaching them, I'm just saying the type of person I am so you guys understand. I think the Illuminati was a group of people who had a specific set of understanding and knowledge to set up or develop a country and to keep it running without having a problem. I believe they were intelligent people who were able to come up with a plan and do this. Now, did it happen to create some bad stuff along the way? Maybe. I don't know. And did it cause stuff to happen today? Maybe. But do I think the intentions were initially bad? I don't believe so. I do not believe the intentions were initially bad. And it's just something in my heart that just don't find that to be reasonable. But why I'm saying that is because I'm not the type of person that believes the government is over here committing rituals or eating baby organs at a dinner table to make the devil happy or something. I just don't believe that. I do believe that there are some shady people, and you could be married and a good father, but you could be a killer at the same time, right? So you always got your positive and negatives. You can't just out anybody being negative. You have to kind of look in depth and do your research and stuff. Or I could tell personality wise, like I watch these people right here, like Benny, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens, and all of those extra guys, because when they speak clear. They know how to convey a message without losing me or making me question on what the fuck am I listening to? Why are you telling me this? But they are able to convey a message. One thing I don't believe is that Trump knows how to convey what he's doing. Again, like I said, from my understanding with Promethean Action, he's going against Britain. Britain is creating a lot of problems and trying to create a globalist world agenda, if that's from my understanding. And if you can't realize it, you need to look at the fights between men and women. You need to look at the fights between black and white. You need to look at the fights between straight and gay. All of us are just fucking divided out of our fucking mind. And I do believe it may be just too much information being passed along. The internet is a dangerous thing. I literally just deleted Instagram, TikTok, Threads, X, and all the social media that I was able to delete, I deleted it. And besides YouTube, because I do want to post on YouTube a lot more and I do want to gain an audience. I just think social media is so negative. Your friends aren't there to even watch you. They see you post a picture, they scroll right past it, or you post some information and nobody engages. And I'm not sure if maybe the people I'm cool with just aren't interested, or maybe they just don't give a fuck about me. And maybe they don't want to understand the shit that I'm pissed off about. Maybe in a sense they don't give a fuck, right? So I'm gonna stick it out on YouTube. But let's continue watching this. Like, again, I'm not believing no conspiracy theories where the FBI sacrificed Charlie Kirk for it to stop raining for the next 2 years. I'm not believing that. But I do I do think something is super fucking fishy. And if they killed him for a reason. And my understanding of that reason, he was too powerful and he was picking up people left and right. He caught my attention. Soon as he popped up on my screen, I watched him at the rally. I'm looking like, oh, nice. Finally, some man is out here talking common sense to these college students, because half the college students go to college, and I'm assuming that they're taught that they're right with everything that they do. And then they come and try to debate you about political shit like immigration or tariffs or some type of shit. And mind you, I haven't even I didn't do any political stuff in college. I didn't do any speech and debates or none of that. I just started learning what's going on, and I understand the way money works, and money has to stay flowing. I don't know if it's being clear with the Trump team or whatever it is, but if you don't know business, and I promise you, I would be a rich ass motherfucker if I had some money. I'm just broke as fuck. If I had money, I would know how to keep that money rotating and keep it spinning and keep it moving from one place to another, coming back or hitting loops. You need money to be moving in order for us to stay afloat. And I'm not saying this is to beat a recession or anything. I just know if you want to be successful or rich, you have to have money coming in and coming out regardless. It doesn't matter if you're going through a recession or not. You have to have money coming in and coming out. You have to be investing. You have to be buying stuff. You have to be investing. You have to be buying stuff. You have to be investing. And that's just what it is. If you go stagnant, you're going to stop the money flow. People don't understand that there's a system put in place for this all to work. And when you question stuff like that and not do your research and refuse to understand the system, you're going to go against what everybody is telling you. When you've been taught something and the world maneuvers off of this specific category, i.e. science, and you don't believe in science and you reject everything that's told to you, you're going to think that everyone's a part of the Illuminati. You're going to think that Charlie Kirk got shot for it to stop raining. You're not going to understand that there's something weird going on. Like I said, after what would you say? A few hours, everybody was on Threads talking about fuck Charlie. And it's mind blowing, but we're going to keep this playing because I'm just rambling, man.
The CIA did bump Lee Harvey Oswald in Mexico. They've now finally admitted that. They had to get that admission clawed out of their cold, dead hands. And so, again, you're the ones who broke it. Like, it is incumbent upon the current leadership of the CIA, FBI, and so on in order to try and fix it. And the way that you do that is maximal transparency and investigative efforts. Here's Tucker Carlson calling for that, saying that you have got to be more transparent. and forceful in your investigation here.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not like a weirdo just because your brain is trying to figure things out. That's a brain's job, is to try to figure things out, is to try to make organization of things, right? So it's just so crazy that people who are trying to figure things out are getting ostracized, you know, whether they're right or wrong or something. At least they're trying to have some semblance of like curiosity, which is really just kind of
if the official story describing the murder of your friend doesn't make sense, and you find yourself yelling at a podcaster for coming up with other theories, you're barking in the wrong direction. Your anger should be focused on the people whose job it is legally, constitutionally, to get to the answer.
And again, I'm not in this civil war between Candace Owen and the other guy. I have no clue. I don't even know if that's what he's referring to. But if that is what he's referring to, I don't watch the other guy. He's not my cup of tea, but you know.
And there's very little pressure on them, I notice. And a great deal of pressure on Candace Owens. And by the way, I've said this to a bunch of people, you know, off the record, you know, people I'm just talking to. It's like, you know, what Candace is saying is clearly causing a lot of turmoil. Is it true or not? I can't assess it. I'm not the FBI. I'm a freaking podcaster, but I do know how the system works, and it's really simple. The FBI has this case, and of course the state of Utah. It's their job to not only find out what happened, but present it to the public in a way that restores some confidence that you can like have justice in this country. We have functioning law enforcement. I don't have confidence in that because there's a lot of evidence that we don't have that. So restore confidence by being honest and telling a story that makes sense. So why, and if they don't do that, and they haven't done that, they have not done that, how can you be mad at Candace Owens or anyone else for filling a vacuum that they left?
Yeah.
Well, Candace is back. Okay.
And I want to show you guys this video right here where Candace Owens ended up showing us 3055, showing us some information, 3055, 3055, 3055, 3055, 3055. And honestly, I didn't know this either. Did I stop at 3055?
Your body's internal biological age. Because many Americans eat so many processed foods and not enough. Hey, Jesse is
because we don't even.
So this guy is firing a round at a human replica or replica of like the neck up or the shoulders up, where he can kind of like take that trajectory and see what would be the effects of that bullet going in there. And it honestly didn't look too great. I'm gonna just keep it real with you.
Sure. And then what I'm gonna do is pull my truck back.
So if you can see this little thing right here, I'm pretty sure
Hey,
they wouldn't have made it. They wouldn't have made it like this if it wasn't kind of like a 1-to-1 replica or something like that. It seems like it got the skeleton, the bones in the neck, and the fleshy skin or whatever it is. But take a look at this bullet go through here. And this is the bullet that they're saying that Charlie Kirk got shot with. And again, I'm not too much of a conspiracy theorist, but again, like I said, when I look at specific stuff and I point it out, I started doing videos because I've been predicting everything that's happened. This is why I'm starting to do videos, because now at this point, it's like, why the fuck not do videos? I'm talking to my girlfriend about the situations that's going to happen. And then 4 or 5 weeks later, a month or 2 or 3 later, these predictions actually come true. And I didn't predict nothing about Charlie, but I predicted, but we went and voted for Trump. I predicted that everybody was tired of the school system, the Biden stuff, and it was head on. Again, I do not want to be the person that's talking about I'm predicting that something's wrong, but I am telling you right now, when I say I don't like the look of something or the sound of something or something seems fishy, it seems fucking fishy. And again, it's an anomaly when nobody outside goes from knowing you till the next day, everybody in the world knowing you, or that's the perception on social media. It's something wrong.
Very similar. Well, we definitely penetrated our water jugs, and I don't think this is gonna help to stop the conspiracy theories. His head fell off.
Look at that. I mean,
So what they're saying is that bullet should have decapitated him, and I'm pretty sure she'll say it in a minute. And I'm gonna give the honors to his friend because it's that much respect, man. I'm gonna just let her go and explain this to you, man.
watch that.
All right, guys, I figured this is probably what would happen. I was trying to remain optimistic, but that right there is why people are skeptical on the official story. The 30-06 is a very hard round to stop.
Yeah, so I wanted to show that because I realized there's a bunch of people who may not be gun enthusiasts. Obviously, that channel is dedicated to it. And just so you understand and really appreciate what the federal government is trying to sell to you right now. That's what we mean when we say that particular bullet would have decapitated Charlie. Like you see, like actually, it just the idea that that just like ricocheted and went inward is just so beyond ridiculous. It's insulting. And they think that if they send out these like glee boys, like Nick Fuentes acting, you know, someone who looks like he's never even.
And again, I'm not in between these civil wars, and I'm not trying to be like I'm in them hoes, but I like Nick Fuentes, man. I like Nick Fuentes. I like Candace. I like all of the controversial people who actually have a conversation. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about stepping up to have to talk and have somebody actually take action on what you're saying or debate, talk to you about it. Try to make you see their side or whatever it is. With Democrats, when you have a conversation with them, it's, fuck you because you are a pedophile or something like that. Like I'm 27. I haven't been around kids since I left my fucking dad house, and I got people calling me pedophiles. I'm like, fine, I'm a pedophile. Fuck it. I mean, like, what you want me to do? What you want me to do, bro? I don't even know how to take care of a child, let alone. You think I've been around kids or I'm touching kids, but I don't even have a single fucking kid in my pictures. Like I haven't been around little ass kids in, how old am I? I'm 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, probably about 5 years, 4 to 5 years. So, I mean, like, if you got something on me, put it out there. But until then, y'all could just keep calling me what y'all want to. It is what it is. But there's no conversation with the left. And when you do have a conversation with the left, it's about oppression. It's about victimhood. It's about black inequality. It's about white people are racist. It's about reparations. It's about Democrats are racist. Like it's nasty, man. I'm telling you, it's disgusting. And it makes you wonder, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? I don't understand.
Been traversed into nature before, that if they really put on the theater, then a bunch of hunters are going to go, yeah, I see what you mean, man. It's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. And so at some point they are going to either just, I don't know, have to declare war on the American people. Like, never mind. We're just going to go to war with.
Yeah, I really hope that we figure this stuff out, man. I hope for her sake as well, just honestly. Let's continue watching this video.
Okay, no. The people with the authority are the ones responsible, and they're the ones who should be held responsible when there's a failure. Not some podcaster, not me, not you, not Candace, the people whose job it is. Talk about, and it's always that. It's always like, you know, you say, well, I don't know why Israel's committing genocide, and guys like, shut up, Theo Von. It's like, shouldn't you be mad at Israel for committing the genocide? No.
Yeah, or why am I the one even asking about it,
Exactly.
dude? I'm just a curious fucktard, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying my best, but
Right. Why should I even know
Again,
to ask the
I love
question in the
Yvonne.
first place?
Such
But
an earnest individual. Makes him great at this kind of stuff.
hey, you want to know one weird thing? Because I've been in the hip hop media and all of that type of stuff. Theo Von wasn't at first one of these podcasters that were talking to, I guess, technically everybody. I don't want to be incorrect on his history or whatever it is, but yeah, I'm surprised that at least he got a little sense. I mean, like, to be talking to the right people, in my opinion, but we can keep playing. He might not have no sense at all, but I give him props for at least talking to my guy right here.
It's, like a Labrador. You don't want to disappoint. Anyway, Tucker Carlson addressed the Charlie Kirk murder one final time in this podcast, and the leadership around it and the conversation. I thought this was good.
But anyway, here's what I am concerned about. A lot of things. One, he acted alone. Tell me how that worked. I don't, none of us really act alone.
it's hard to go anywhere by yourself too.
Thank you. Exactly. You acted totally alone. Okay. You're going to have to prove that to me. It's totally possible. Anything is possible. Weird things have happened. We'll continue to. But that's not my default assumption, and it shouldn't be yours. And their default assumption was we acted alone. Really? Why do you think that? What about life suggests that people typically act alone? When was the last time you acted alone in anything? I don't go, right? So A. B, we know that people had foreknowledge.
I'm going to keep it real, but this wasn't anything planned. When I was boosting at Walmart, I definitely acted alone. I was stupid, but I wasn't that stupid. I had somebody come with me and snitch on me. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. But yeah.
Of this, because they posted about it on X and said Charlie Kirk is going to be killed on this date, and he was.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
Like, were they just guessing? Was it a guessing thing where every day they posted that?
Maybe. Have those people been interviewed? Have they been hauled into FBI HQ and had a long conversation with how they knew that? Like, let's get really specific. Why did you post that? Who have you talked to? Like, if I were doing this investigation, because I spent my whole life doing non-criminal investigations called journalism, like, what do we know is true? How do we find out? Call everybody, be open-minded. It's like it's the same process. If I was doing this investigation, they would be at the very top of the list. We know, because we've got public postings on Twitter that people know, just like on 9/11. We know people bet against American Airlines and the banks that were in the World Trade Centers. They shorted those stocks. Those people clearly had foreknowledge of 9/11. Who were those people? We still don't know. So I would start there.
But so you're saying that just the fact that there could possibly be some foreknowledge should be investigated?
Well, there was foreknowledge because
Okay.
I saw the tweets. And so I saw at least two that said, everything's going to change when Charlie Kirk gets.
Wait, let me read this. Definitely not Jack something. Charlie James Kirk, Mr. College Dropout, does not know what's coming tomorrow. Be ready. This isn't a threat. It's a promise. Churd Bum 75M saw Tyler June 30. We fucking did it. Charlie Kirk has died at the age of 31 after being shot, Donald Trump announces. Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him, literally. Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. I plead the 5th. September 10th will be a very interesting day. And you want to know some weird shit? I believe I seen something like this. And this is not a lie. And I usually would just be like, I don't know. Just keep it pushing. But from my understanding, I do believe seeing September 10th will be a very interesting day. That's crazy. That's nasty work.
Gets to the college in Utah.
Okay.
So those people, I'm not saying they're part of a conspiracy, but there's evidence that they had foreknowledge. Okay. So that's where you begin. And then I could go on. Like, tell me how this guy who seemed normal became a radical trans furry murderer. It's not enough to tell me, oh, trans. I'm not pro-trans, by the way.
But was that the guy or his boyfriend?
Well, exactly right. Tell me how this guy became so radicalized that he murdered a stranger. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm
agree.
saying I want an explanation for how it happened. Why wouldn't I?
I agree.
Oh, we can't.
Yeah, for what is it? For Trump people, they was pulling up tweets and all of that type of stuff. They was trying to, I think they said he was a Democrat. They found out all of this type of stuff, but I don't know. Like I said, like again, some fishy, some real fishy.
Talk about that because it'll prejudice the jury pool. Really, you've told the world that you have both a confession from him in his text to his boyfriend and the murder weapon with his fingerprints on it. I think you got a pretty solid case. So why is it so difficult to just explain, dude, 9/11, the rubble was still smoldering whenever I was on television on 9/11. So I remember this very well. People are instantly appeared. Oh, this is Islamic radicalism. Here's where it comes from. We're going to invite this guy in from Columbia who's just written a book about it. And like the whole explanation was ready to go.
Yeah.
There's no even attempt, which is both good and bad, but there's no attempt to explain how this happened. Like that's the key question we all want to know. Yes, I know Charlie Kirk was murdered by gunshot. Got it. Saw it. Why? And they never want to tell you.
Yeah.
Was the kid on SSRI? Shut up. Oh, you're a Scientologist? And they immediately start name calling you. Oh, you're Candace Owens now? No.
Or
Yeah, but if you're just
pedophile.
a
I've been
curious
called
person who
pedophile.
wants to know why your
Today.
friend got killed.
Well,
It's a
that's
friend,
kind
it's
of
a
what
human
I
person.
am. That's what I
Right,
am.
that's what I'm saying. If
Right.
it's a human person.
Well, that's what Candace is. So I have said from the beginning, if you don't like what Candace Owens is saying, why don't you call her and offer a more plausible explanation for what happened? Oh, she's bad. She's bad. Okay. I mean, I like her a lot. I don't think she's bad, but I love her actually. But let's just stipulate she's bad. But why wouldn't you do that? Because
I don't agree with some of the stuff that the rabbit hole she goes down.
Now, my thing with that dude is, I watch people, and I'm not trying to predict shit. But this dude said he's taking a little disappearance. He finna stop videoing. So if you have somebody come out and assume, and usually in my opinion, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. My father taught me that. So naturally, if it was wrong, you will be like, yeah, no, I don't know what the hell she's talking about, right? But instead, you went into a frontal, you went off, you had emotions attached to what you were saying. You were trying to prove that you didn't do it. You trying to prove, like, this is why I don't believe Democrats. When Democrats say, oh, Trump is racist, or, oh, Trump don't like black people, Trump is this, Trump is that, Trump is a fascist and all that type of shit. Nah, I'm not. I can't believe that. I don't even want to dabble in that victimhood shit unless you are actually saying Trump is destroying society. These tariffs are going to eat into your pockets, literally. When you say tariffs are going to eat into my pockets, bro, the way they say it just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, if you were to be like, when you go to Amazon, now you got to pay $6 extra more for a tariff, maybe that might have got me. But come on, dude, like it's not. When I hear Democrats try to explain or try to convince somebody to come to their party or try to convince somebody that something is up with their side, the Democrats always seem like they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It always seems as if they're just throwing a sausage through a hole. I mean, like, there's nothing to understand when you can't articulate what you're saying. When we're listening to these people talk about it and say why and the logical steps from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then as well, I feel as if I see something that was an anomaly on current social media. That's why I ended up deleting it. You have to wonder. You have to wonder.
But
I don't even know.
But I like the fact that she likes to dig in the garden, you know? So it's like, I like the fact that she's curious, and that obviously if people weren't resonating with what she's doing, then nobody would be paying attention. But you know how many places I go, people will come up to me and be like, and I don't think they want to say something to me. They'll be like, I love Candace Owens.
Dude, did I tell you what happened to me in Oslo this summer?
Mm-mm.
I was with my family, salmon fishing.
White Oslo. Some people call it White Oslo as
It's
well.
not very white anymore.
It isn't?
Nope.
Ah.
I'm glad they put up the tweets in that section because, as a matter of fact, there were a bunch of mutant freaks that were celebrating Charlie Kirk's imminent death online. They posted about it. And a lot of them had connections to transgender and Antifa and furry communities in Utah. I would like to know if those people have been interviewed. I think that's a fair line of questioning. Matt Walsh here just seconds ago posting. An obvious hole in the Charlie Kirk assassination story is that leftist trans freaks were posting about the killing before it happened. Seemed to indicate that there was potentially even more leftists involved in the plot. If that's a conspiracy theory, it's among leftist radical militants either way. The evidence points to this being the work of one, at least possibly more than one, radical leftist scumbags. They want all of us dead, and they had every reason and motivation to kill Charlie, and they didn't. Tucker saying as much, Matt saying as much. A lot of people sounding off on this. I think it's perfectly acceptable to ask for maximal transparency and investigative force, and then for updates. It is the clearest, most damaging and effective political assassination that has split the country into, in my lifetime or yours, since JFK. Frankly, you'd have to go back to find political assassination of more weight. So treat it like that. You know, treat it with the kind of investigative rigor that is required. And if you don't do that, then people spiral, and that's why people go crazy. Anyway, I tend to agree with this take. Let me know what you—
Thank you, Benny, for your information. And again, I just don't feel confident on the shit that's going on. I honestly don't. And I don't know. Once all of this stuff is over, and if nothing happens within the next 2 presidencies, like I believe I don't believe Trump is going to make the world better in 1 year. I don't believe Trump is going to make the world better in 4 years. I believe the agenda that he has needs to run its course through multiple presidents. And if Trump ends up getting taken out, I would love for JD Vance to take up, or for somebody with the same understanding or the same agenda, or at least talking to some of the people who we were just listening to understand the stuff that's going on in the world. I think that should happen, honestly. Or man, I don't know. It's a lot. I'm 26 and I just paid $200 in fucking groceries, and my refrigerator, I don't have nothing in my refrigerator. I mean, I bought a few packets of Kool-Aid and some sugar, but that lasts me longer than a can of Coke or a Pepsi or a 2-liter of Coke or a drink, a lemonade or something like that. I mean, like, you can't get water, but water still costs more, and all of this type of shit, bro, it's nasty work out here. And if you keep listening to these people keep saying, oh, it's Democrats or no, it's Republicans doing all of this type of stuff, please understand, if you made it this far, please understand what a free market is. A free market is the people make the prices. Majority of the world can't afford something that a millionaire can afford. So Walmart is just not going to sell it. It's just not going to make any profit unless they're trying to sell hella shit. Not hella shit. A small amount of things, right? I wish this would stop autofocusing. But yeah, a plethora of things. And for Walmart, it doesn't work that way. So Walmart meets a sweet spot where if they have enough demand and enough supply, it's gonna create that X right there in the middle, that sweet spot. So you don't want to get too much more than what you really need, and you don't want to get too much less than what you need. And when you bring immigrants without telling anybody, it fucks up the balance. That's why prices are changing, because when you let 20 plus million people in, and this is just a base number, they truly believe it's a lot more. When you let 20 plus million people in, you fuck up supply and demand. And it's annoying to me how people who went to college don't even fucking understand this. It's the liberalism is worse with people who went to college than it is with people who stayed home and tried to put their life in their own hands, because maybe if you're like me, my family stopped doing their taxes and FAFSA. I couldn't reapply for FAFSA. And I couldn't finish out school. I was going there for electrical engineering, programming robots and all that type of stuff. And it just so happened that folks ain't do taxes. But the whole goal about this is to try to get a regular trade, and make enough money to buy a house. Bro, I make $20 an hour. I make what a regular person makes, or probably somebody regular my age makes. And it's still not enough. It's still not enough. Me and my girlfriend, still not enough. So I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a socialist, but if the world votes for socialists, the president is going to have to give me a house and give me a job, and pray to God I go to it, because y'all going to have to execute me. If we going to be living like North Korea, if y'all really want the government to give out free shit, and y'all want the government to give y'all free housing, because one thing you're not going to be able to do is pick the house you want to live in. So if you want that shit to be like that, go ahead. And another thing, you're probably not going to be able to pick your job. Also, another thing is, when your house burned down, I'm certain that you better get that picture of the president up out that house, or you're going to go to jail for a few generations. I know it's some people, I know it's some people in North Korea. Is it North Korea? It's someplace where, bro, they will arrest you and arrest your children. So if you have kids, your kids will do time in jail for your mistake that you did before they was born. So if you think America is crazy or America is a dictator, you're out your fucking mind. That's it. Peace.